Very good afternoon to you. Two traders who were jailed for manipulating benchmark interest rates have had their convictions overturned by the Supreme Court. Tom Hayes was convicted of multiple counts of conspiracy to defraud and handed a 14-year jail sentence in 2015, one of the toughest ever to be imposed for a white-collar crime in UK history. Carlo Palombo was convicted of conspiring with others to submit false or misleading rates. A panel of 5 justices found there was, I quote, ample evidence for a jury to convict them that it had been properly directed, but it hadn't.
Although there was ample evidence to support the prosecution case, it is not possible to say that if the jury had been properly directed, they would have been bound to return guilty verdicts. Mr. Hayes' convictions is therefore unsafe and must be quashed. In Mr. Palombo's case, the jury directions given at his trial are not open to the same degree of criticism, but they still involve the same essential error of treating a question of fact as if it were a matter of law. Compounded with other errors and ambiguities in the directions, the result is that Mr. Palombo's conviction is also unsafe and must be quashed.
Our business and economics correspondent Gurpreet Narwan joins us now. Gurpreet, for those of us who aren't business experts and trading experts, just kind of talk us through the background of this case and then what's changed today.
Well, if you remember some of the public anger that took hold after the financial crisis, the Libor rigging scandal was really a flashpoint for that. Tom Hayes was the first trader in the world to be found guilty of rigging that rate. And effectively, it's the interest rate set on loans and derivatives throughout the financial system. It was based on numbers submitted daily by several large banks. And the accusation at the time was that Mr. Hayes was some sort of ringleader in this big international fraud conspiracy, that he was manipulating that rate. And he was one of 9 who were successfully prosecuted by the Serious Fraud Office back in 2015. And his prosecution was really a lightning rod for that public anger that I was talking about. The rigging of the Libor rate was this huge scandal. It cost banks billions of pounds in fines and settlements. And it's been a long-running battle for Mr. Hayes to clear his name. He was sentenced to 14 years. That was reduced to 11 on appeal. He then served 5.5 of that. And today, the Supreme Court overturned that decision, saying that the jury in that original case had been misdirected. He said that the original judge, Mr. Justice Cook, had directed the jury that it was automatically dishonest for traders to take into account commercial considerations when making Libor submissions. And today, Mr. Hayes saying that it felt like a surreal moment, that he had thought about what he might say when this moment came, but that he couldn't quite believe it was happening to him. And in a press conference, he chewed over some serious questions about the justice system, about the jury system, about the Serious Fraud Office's handling of this. Let's have a listen to what he had to say.
We got caught up in a lot of politics surrounding a financial crisis, that's for sure. And there was that big sort of like desire from institutions and politicians who are acting in their own self-interest largely for people to go to prison.
It's interesting that the judges said that there was ample evidence to convict him, but that the jury had simply been misdirected in the original case. However, Mr. Hayes today, after a long-running battle, said it felt like a bittersweet moment. He described the original ruling as mad and said that it was a fundamental error in the way this case was prosecuted.
Gurpreet, live in central London for us. Thank